Hello walkers, and welcome back to Cincinnati, Ohio. This morning we are going to be walking in the OTR, or the Over the Rhine area. Really cool old area that has really seen a lot of investment the last 10-20 years and has made a huge difference. I'm going to spin you around here. Excuse me. My name is Henry. I will be your proxy walker today, your virtual travel guide, your co-discoverer. I say co-discoverer because even though my family's from here and I used to live here, I'm really not an expert in this area, and we're just going to walk around and discover some stuff together. I'm going to spin you around again, maybe this way. We are on the corner of 12th and Vine Street. Downtown is that way. Mount Adams is way over there on the other side of the highway, and then you get up into the northern parts of Cincinnati over there, and then this direction, sorry for all the spinning, is to the west, and that's towards the Miami River, and there used to be a Erie and Miami Canal over that direction, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. Across the corner here is the Taste of Belgium, which is a local, I think it's a local chain. I've only seen it here, but it could be elsewhere. I don't know the derivation of it, and I was a little suspect about, I never really heard about Belgian cuisine in any sense, but it's kind of a breakfast place, lunch place, it looks like. Waffles and that sort of thing. It is, here's the story. I am, as you may have guessed, I'm a little disjointed in my thoughts sometimes, and I'm easily distracted. City Walks is a channel where we do virtual tours of cities and virtual treadmill walks. We also do occasionally nature trails. Those are fun too. Yeah, so easily distracted. It is 78 degrees Fahrenheit, 25 degrees Celsius, and about a little after 11 a.m. in the morning. And it's quite nice, actually. It's getting kind of warm now, a little humid, but it is July on a Sunday morning, so things are quiet here. It's a quiet morning, although people are starting to come out. Over the Rhine got its name because apparently, this is from the Wikipedia article I read, as we come up on Central Parkway East. In the mid-1800s, a lot of German folks came over and settled in this area, and they would live to the west of here and cross the Erie and Miami Canal to come to work in this area. It was more of an industrial area, and it became locally known as the Rhine, so that canal, and so hence Over the Rhine is this area. And then they settled here. They built businesses and houses and that sort of thing. Look at this mural over to the right. Beautiful. A lot of great stuff going on here, and I'll talk about that as I go. I'm just going to loop around. I don't know my way around here because when I lived here in the 90s, it was kind of a no-go area. It was very, it was derelict, crime-ridden, and dangerous. A lot of people ended up here who had issues or couldn't afford to live anywhere else because of a lot of other societal issues. And in 2001, they had the Cincinnati riots, not the first riots in Cincinnati, and it was a protest about, look at these kind of old buildings, protest about people here, treatment, who were predominantly black, by the police, by the city government. And I don't know all the details or the nuances of that. I don't live here, so I'm not going to get into that. But by about 2009, finally people started to recognize that something needed to be done for this area and for the people that lived here. And this is all from a Wikipedia article. The city, but also a lot of public-private corporations and foundations started to invest here and encourage investment here. And look at these old buildings. And they've done that, and which is great. I'm gonna go down one more, I think. Again, I'm just gonna loop around here. You can see kind of the other end of it down there. And so it's gotten to be, it's been revived in a lot economically. I don't know, but I have to assume there's some issues around gentrification there. There always seem to be, and that's a very complex problem and issue to deal with. And I don't know any of the details of that either, so I'm not going to comment on that. I am going to talk about the awesome buildings. These buildings, a lot of them date back from 1850 to like 1890s, I think, 1870s, and of a variety of styles, but the ones that were listed were, there's one term that I hadn't seen before: Queen Anne, Italianate, and Greek Revival. Muted Greek Revival was the term they used. I don't know enough about architecture to comment on those things. I wish I did. And maybe someday I'll actually do something about it, that lack of knowledge. As we're on Jackson Street, we're coming up to 13th, just to keep you in the loop of where we are. The article said it has often been likened to Greenwich Village and New Orleans, I think the French Quarter, down there, in terms of age and style and of size, actually, scale. So it's a pretty big area, which is pretty cool. Hi there, how you doing? We're just gonna wander around. Not having lived here in 30 years, I think I carry a little bit of baggage about interpreting this area and what I see. And I would say that it still has a bit of an edge to it, especially on the edges of the area. And you know, that's okay. That adds a little bit of spice to the mix. But by and large, this morning, you know, I haven't been out here at night, but very safe, very inviting, very interesting to explore and walk around. And we're going to do some more of that here we go. You can see like this old ironwork up here. It might be newer, but the building is old. And some of the detail around the windows and I don't know, just, I love it. It's these beautiful, beautiful old buildings. And I keep commenting on this as I walk around these eastern cities on our little trip here. You know, it's just, they don't really build like this anymore. And I understand that it's probably incredibly expensive to do that now, if you can even find the artisans to do that. But I do enjoy looking at it. Of course, these older buildings don't have things like necessarily like sprinkler systems or elevators or some of the other conveniences. So there's a little park over here. I don't know what it's called. It looks kind of cool. Lights and tables, and it's called something alley. Coming up on Mercer Street here. Referring back to my own baggage that I carry around with me, there were a lot of VRBOs in this area, some more buildings down there, that came up when I was looking for a place to stay, and couldn't quite, you know, not having been down here in 30 years, couldn't quite bring myself to um, get a place down here. And hi there. But it is beautiful. The parking is probably a little tough. That was probably my main concern. Okay, on the corner is a Grater's Ice Cream Shop. It is a local ice cream maker and manufacturer. Was family owned since 1870s when they got their start. I think they're owned by Kroger now. Here's the Eagle Food and Beer Hall. Lots of cool restaurants down here, lots of cool activities and bars and fun stuff to do and see, a couple theaters, and really pretty cool. I look forward to learning more about this part of the city. I'm going to go down this way. Again, this is 14th. Don't know my way around all that well, having not been down here, but we're just gonna walk around and discover. Check out these street lamps, old style street lamps. I love it. There is on-street parking, as you can tell, and it's mostly and then there's also public parking. I'm not sure that's public parking, but there are public lots down here. Pay by phone. This is Cincy Easy Park, where I parked. It's free parking on Sundays till 2 p.m., but it's like pay by phone, I think, is the app you can use. I try to be relaxed and soothing in my talk, but I commented this on my last video. I get kind of excited about this stuff, and I want to just say, tell things, share things for you guys. Look at that metalwork. And check out this alley here. Old cobblestone or brick pavers there. Middle port. I want to share these things with you. I want to share all this stuff with you. I get excited and easily distracted. So I want to thank, speaking of distracted, because I should have said this earlier, I want to thank our Patreon supporters for being members and supporting the channel. It may not seem like much to you, but it's really very much appreciated by me. It helps make these walks possible, makes these travels possible. I want to thank, this is Walnut Street, right there. I want to thank the people who also do one-time contributions via PayPal. Links to both of those things are in the YouTube description. Again, very much appreciated, and thank you. Here's one of the paid lots, parking place there, and most of these places have apps to pay. Is now this street not that different from the street over, but it doesn't have trees. And when you don't have trees, and all you have are these big wires and cables and that sort of thing, it becomes bleak, in my opinion. Up there, that is not Mount Adams. I forget what area that's called, up on that hill. But it makes a huge difference just having trees, having a little bit of shade, having a little bit of organic material, and I can't help but think that's one of the key ingredients of rejuvenating a place in a city. So this tree did not make it. They made an attempt. An attempt was made. But this one seems to be going all right. You know, if they could, I don't want to oversimplify things because there's way more to bringing a place back. Oh, look at this. This is cool. This is a like eatery or something. beyond the trash cans, but outdoor, enjoyable location. So when I say makes these suggestions or these pontifications, it's with the knowledge that the issues are way more complex than I'm making them out to be. But putting out trees does wonders for a location and for a city, and they've done studies that show it reduces temperatures by 5 degrees, urban temperatures. It makes the air cleaner, it makes the people happier, and it certainly cuts down on noise, and it seems like a low-hanging fruit, depending on the tree, to put those out. And I know that they are a maintenance hassle, but I think they were worth it, and if I lived here, I'd be willing to pay a little extra in taxes to make it happen. Here endeth the sermon. All right, back on Vine Street, and go down a block, and maybe we'll come back, or maybe we'll go down to the left a block as well. Not sure yet. Kind of have to remember where I parked. Didn't really pay that much attention. You can see the back sides of some of these old buildings. And that one with the plastic in the windows looks like it's being rehabbed. I believe the church up here on the left is a Catholic church. I'm not sure which one just yet. As we come up to Liberty Street, Avenue. I believe they're still working on rejuvenating to the north of here. There are definitely some areas that are a little less welcoming than others. That's St. Francis Seraph, excuse me. And it looks like folks are getting out of church. Earlier this morning I was walking downtown, and because it's a Sunday morning, there was barely any traffic, and I could just walk across the street wherever. It was barely even noticeable. I have to wonder, here we go, I have to wonder how much it would cost to rehab a building like this. You know, these old buildings, they come with a lot of issues quite often. I'm going to spin around and show you eastward on Liberty. There you go, and there's the Crossroad Health Center, I believe, to the right. Oh, here, look at this. It's another one of the murals. Very cool stuff. Ad Possum. Possum, sorry. I think that to peace, maybe? And as we look west, you know, you can see some of these buildings. There's not any shade. There's some grime from the centuries that has not been cleaned off. Down this way, you've got some issues. We're going to go left on Republic, but we're going to look at this other mural first. Ezard Charles, and I've known it's a heavyweight champion of the world, 1949 and 1951. There's an Ezard Charles Boulevard. I had no idea who it was. In my younger years, I had less curiosity, I sometimes think, which is a shame. All right, here's some more buildings. A little bit of shade. Cross over, get a better view of some of these old buildings. You know, you've got these quaint little newly refurbished buildings, and then you've got the Joseph House with his still needing some love. Got something going on to the right here. Looks like maybe a sidewalk service going on or getting ready to go on. Could be fun. There's a big music festival going on in Cincinnati, not far, many locations downtown. Hogarth and hi there. The trim up at the top of that one is pretty. Painting this stuff, maintaining it must be a real expense and challenge. Okay, so Frank Duveneck is a local artist from the 1800s. And this is a tribute house, I guess. I don't know what that means, but originally born as Frank Decker. And there's another guy, Sharp maybe, who did a lot of Western motifs, and then Henry Farney is known for Native American Western scenes, as well as some from the Ohio River. We're on Republic. This is, I don't know what this is. Little street, pedestrian area down there. And I'm going to spin this around here to your left. This is 15th, I think. Pedestrian and seating area down here. I think that's Vine, if I recall correctly. I'm just going to walk down the middle of the street here and get some better views. You can see downtown poking up in the distance. Carew Tower. Look at these lovely, lovely row houses. To kind of wonder if these are single family or that one looks like it's multi. A walk-up of some sort. Very cool stuff. Off to the left there, excuse me, there's a little playground. Off to the right is a little park. But look how compared this with the trees to what we saw earlier without trees, or you can even see up further without trees, and maybe there's a little extra room here for them, but I feel like you could make some room or grow vines, you know. I hope that sort of focus and stuff doesn't come across as harping on these things. To me, that is fascinating, the difference that it makes. Very simple difference, and yet profound. This is 14th Street. Okay, I'm gonna cross over, try not to get hit here. And we're gonna enter where it says do not enter, mainly because of the bollards. And I think we're gonna go down another block here. Because, maybe 2 blocks. Little park. Having maybe that's part of it too, is that when you have trees, you have birds. And that adds to the ambiance. Here we're on Race Street coming up here. You can see the trolley line here from the free trolley. Oh, and I could go either direction here. And this is, I believe, Washington Park. I'm just gonna go straight across, I think, and we'll loop around. Maybe we'll go through the park. I do want to get a view of TQL Stadium. Race Street, some churches, some other larger apartment buildings. We're gonna go through here. guess some music playing, but I think we can talk over it maybe and maybe not get a copyright issue. I'm not sure. Oh, it's being projected into the park. That's interesting. There's speakers up there. This across the way is the Cincinnati, I think it's Cincinnati Music Hall. Obviously an old Victorian, maybe neo-Gothic. I don't know if that's Gothic or not. Got a stage here for events. So the 3CDC, the Cincinnati City Center Development Corporation, is responsible for a lot of the funding and efforts to rejuvenate this area. And it's downtown as well as over the Rhine. And the article I read said that they put on something like 1,000 events a year for the community. And that's musical events, art shows. I don't know if it includes markets or what exactly those events are, as I talk over the music being blasted in here and trying to cover that up a little bit as I maybe go over here. Sorry, I know that's it's annoying to me when I have to do that, so I assume it's probably annoying to you guys. Sorry about that. Looks like they are doing Madame Butterfly, Cincinnati Opera. I wish I had a better sign to read that. Music Hall, yeah, Cincinnati Music Hall. And if I can get out here maybe. No, maybe it's down another block. We'll go down this way. Somewhere down here is TQL Stadium, and we're going to go there tonight to see a Football Club Cincinnati game against Kansas. It's a league game. I don't follow MLS, although I do. Of all the sports, I think watching soccer is one of my favorite. I know it's not for everybody, but that's okay. And I'm excited about it because I've never actually been to a soccer game, a live professional soccer game. And we're coming up on 14th. This is Elm Street off to the right. Sorry, I should have called that out. We got one of these pedal and cocktail kind of deals off to the right. I have to wonder, as we're going to go over towards Central Avenue, what it's like to live down here. Does it get kind of raucous? Does it get kind of wild and loud? Or is it like anywhere else, any other kind of urban center? Hotel and restaurant. I have vague memories of coming down in high school. It wasn't over here so much, but it was kind of on the edge of it. And one of these, it was an old building like this, very small, and it had been converted to be a restaurant and music area, and listened to bluegrass for an evening. It was a lot of fun. All right, there is TQL Stadium. I hope that has brought in some investment to this area as well, some jobs to this area. That would be welcome, I'm sure. I have a very I don't know. I'll just say it. I don't like publicly funded sports stadiums. I don't think it's a good use of funds, but that's me and my own biases. So we're going to go down to, I think it is, I can't really read it down that far, but we're going to make a loop. This is the Adrian Alleyway. Here's the football club. I'm going to swing you around to the alley. Yeah. Right. This looks like it's part of the wooden nickel antique area. Cool old building. Looks like that one didn't make it. We'll go down to Wetzel, sorry. No, the next one's 15th. Wetzel is an alley. This area actually, now that I think about it, kind of reminds me of Capitol Hill in DC as well. A lot of old buildings and just on the edge of poverty, some of which is quite extreme. But again, it's been redeveloped, so up and coming. They're working on it. Here's the stadium. Lots of e-scooters that you can rent. This is Lime. I think I've seen Bird and maybe one other. And I haven't seen a lot of them just thrown down on the ground. I know that used to be, when they first came out, it was kind of a problem. People not behaving responsibly in regards to that stuff. But it seems to be, they've sort of figured that out, I guess. Empty lot of some sort. Look how small this building is. Wow. That is just a narrow building. Maybe it's wider as you get closer to the street. Oh, here comes the trolley. And I believe that's free. Fare free every day, it says. Got it right. All right, we're coming back on Elm Street. And I think, show you that. And then I'm gonna go this way. Way down the end of this way, I don't know if you can make it out, is the Paycor Stadium where the Bengals play, the football team. An interesting old building. Looks like an old church. A cross on the top. I love these old buildings. That's cool. It's like a maybe an exercise group. And back to Music Hall. We'll make a left here. On 14th Street. Cross over. So we can see this side of the street. And we're, what is that, Pleasant Street? Or alleyway? Some fun street art down here. Some new builds back in there. Comer's Alley. And Part of this park has a nice little garden over here. I'm going to swing around to the left here again because I want to comment on the balconies over here and these porches. I love a good porch, a balcony where you can sit outside, enjoy. I like these second story ones and third story ones as well because, I don't know, it just perches you up there and gives you a view. You're of the street, but not in the street. Cross over again and go down a block. This is Race Street. Cross. Parkside Apartments. Those look nice. I'm trying to. Ooh, that one looks like maybe they're working on it, maybe not. Excuse me. See a sign for Xavier University over there. That's one of the, at least two universities in town. Other being University of Cincinnati, part of the public system. I think Xavier might be private, but I'm not sure about that. That is beautiful. Looking down here with all the wires and cables and stuff, it looks like something from the early 1900s. I'm gonna go down one more block and then we'll loop. This is a cool building. Looks. What this is this a hotel? I see kind of a lobby in there, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's apartments and that's just where the doorman hangs out. Excuse me. I cannot tell you how thrilled I am to know that they have a trolley system here. We'll go up here. A streetcar system. I think that's such a great idea, and I don't know how much it costs to put in or operate, but man, anything you can do to make getting around a little bit easier in these cities and reduce car traffic and exhaust, I'm for. Well, not anything, but you know. Okay, we're going to make a left on 12th. Looks like they're working on this place over here. See some folks up top. A lot of stickers on windows. Ooh, simply rolled ice cream. Little pocket area. Looks like maybe it's a private area for residents. You see the Kroger building in the background. That's another one of the major corporations based here in Cincinnati. Crossing Republic Street. or Bremen Street. There's two signs there. One's blue, one's green. I think blue usually connotes a private street. Green public. It's not 100%. Okay, so we're back at the Taste of Belgium, the corner of 12th and Vine, and I want to thank you guys for joining me on this walk around over the Rhine. Please let me know in the comments any errors I've made, any thing I left out, also suggestions, local knowledge, memories, etc. I think this area was called out in the 90s in a movie called Traffic. Not that that's relevant, but I just thought I'd throw that in there. So beautiful here. And my car is down here. And please just be gentle. I don't really have a lot of room for tremendous negativity or entitlement. So, but I do love hearing from you guys. I love getting your feedback and hearing your memories and that you're willing to share, or your local information. Anything to make these videos more useful is appreciated. Some sort of restaurant here. It smells delicious. And so, I guess that's it for Over the Rhine today. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm may get another Cincinnati walk in before I leave, but maybe not. We'll see. Hoping to squeeze one in at down in Nashville, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to fit that one in either. So, regardless, we'll be doing some more walks from Montana in the near future, and some hikes, some nature hikes. So stay tuned for that. And above all, keep on stepping.